Okay,
Is that
welcome,
right?
welcome. Core and stretch this Thursday, beautiful May day.
Nice.
TC Fit trainer Michelle here with you. We're going to get started today with standing mobility. And I'll talk you through this. Feel free to adjust for your space at any time. And I want you to start with a balance and breathe. So, single leg, choose a leg. Lift that front foot up. Think about drawing in on that internal girdle. You're drawing in those abdominal muscles, but still being able to breathe. Inhale, exhale, nice and slow, comfortable, finding that balance. If you're having a little wobbliness here, you can take the arms out to the side, or you can hold a stable wall or object near you. Go ahead and switch sides. Seems like it should be so easy, but it is a skill. We have to use it or lose it, so we're using it today. Find that breath. Just because we're holding still doesn't mean we're holding our breath. Inhale, exhale. And we're gonna switch legs. So for me, or if you're mirroring me, your right foot will be on the floor, your left foot comes up, and we're gonna tap forward, tap back. It's 10, 9, 8, 7. 4 more here. We're gonna stay on this side and tap across. So it's a rotation, knee crosses over and then swings wide. Hip rotation, still that balance. 4, 2, switch legs. And we start with that front toe tap and then posterior reverse. So front and back. You got it. Standing tall, 4 more. Last 2, and we rotate. That foot comes across, internal rotation, external rotation out. Off to a good start. We've got about a 6-minute warm-up here today. Then we'll move to the floor for 10 minutes of core, and then we finish with our stretch. Last 2. Plant those feet. Toes are forward. Gentle squat. It does not need to be low. Reach it all the way up. So it's low and lift. Press those hips back. All the way to the top and hold. Take that left arm, reach across the body. Switch sides. Little side bend. Squat and reach. Maybe a little lower than you did last time. We sit back and lift. 4, 3. Perfect. Release those arms. Roll the shoulder blades down and back. A little bit of shoulder mobility here. We're going to take this into a Y. So the arms come up wide. You can see my Y. I'll even step in closer so you can see it here. Shoulders stay down even as the arms come up. So we bring the arms down, lift into that Y. We're going to go 8 here. Here's 6. Last one. And release. We're coming up into our goal pose. So elbows are at 90. Tuck those shoulder blades down and back. Rotation forward and lift. Here's 4 on your way to 8. Last one. And release. Posterior shoulder reach. So you're going to almost scratch the back and then switch sides. Seems easy, not for everyone. Again, this is working on that reach between the shoulder blades. 4 more here. And release. Here's your chance to grab the towel. And we're taking this into, sometimes it's called a band opener or a shoulder opener. It comes down and then over. You might get a little extension and reach. Good. Feel that gentle stretch under the armpits. Keep going here. We got about 15 more seconds. You're working at your own pace. And this is the exercise that may have given it away. We are doing the workout of the week, or the exercise of the week, shoulder mobility. So when we're done with class today, you can sign on and say, hey, I did it. Enter me for a chance to win 250 Virgin Pulse points. Last one. And release. We are going to move to the floor. Take your time. Move however it's best for you. Coming down to hands and knees. And we're going to alternate our shoulder drop. So I'm just turning so you can see I drop my right shoulder towards the floor. I pull it back up. Left shoulder and lift. So alternating sides. Shoulder dip here. Creating that movement between the shoulder joints, then a little bit in the neck, that thoracic spine. You're doing great. Hit one more on each side. And we are moving to our plank. My beginning exercisers will take this down to knee or elbows and knees. My advanced exercisers may be all the way up on hands to toes. You are starting this plank and we are going for 1 minute. That time has started. This is a 5 exercise set. Each exercise 1 minute. And it's a little bit of a ladder. What we mean by that is you do the first exercise, second exercise, third exercise, and then we repeat 2 and 1. So we go up the ladder and down the ladder. We're almost there. We're taking about 15 more seconds on this plank. My advanced exercisers who want to take this to an alternating shoulder tap can do that. New exercise coming up in 10 seconds. Choose the level that works best for you. We're off to a good start. We're going to do this heavy duty work with our core. And then at the end of the class, we get to reward ourselves with a stretch. And go ahead, release that plank, roll to your side. We're going for a side crunch. So I'm setting my elbow right underneath my shoulder. Top arm reaches for the ceiling, and I can do this single leg or double leg. I'm gonna come up, tap, and release. Touch those ankles and release. As this gets difficult, your body's gonna wanna rotate back. Your hips will hit the floor. Try to keep that belly button pointed towards the wall in front of you. My advanced exercisers are never gonna let the ankles touch the floor. My beginning exercisers may only move the top leg. Choose the level that's best for you. There's no one right answer. Good start. We've got 10 more seconds here. Remembering to breathe. Ideally, we'd exhale as we come to the top. Last repetition. Go ahead, release, roll to your back. Gotta look at what's next. Oh, our pike crunch. So hands reach overhead. We're gonna touch those toes. Feel that lift. The shoulder blades come up off the floor. And then we open. So reach and release. If this is too much, you're looking for a less intense exercise, take it to your alternating heel tap. So either the alternating heel tap or the pike crunch for 1 minute. We've got about 30 seconds remaining. We went up the ladder, step 1, 2. This is step 3. Give me 10 more good seconds here. You know you can push through. Ask those muscles to work harder than they're used to. 2 repetitions. Last one. and release. We're coming back down that ladder. So side crunch on the opposite side, the side you have not done. Stack the shoulder over the elbow. Reach ankles and fingertips. Whew. You may have heard me mention 5 exercises, 5 minutes. Then we get a 30-second recovery water break, and we do 5 new exercises. We're past the halfway mark. Choose the level that's best for you. If this starts to be too intense, think about that scale of 1 to 10. You start to hit a level 9 where your form starts to fail. I want you to take this to a single leg. 3, 2, 1, and we're back on our first rung, which was our plank, 1-minute plank. Choose what works best for you. My advanced exercisers, if you're looking for more intensity, you're gonna tap wide with the toes. You can either alternate, or you can do that plyo jump side to side. 40 seconds remaining. This is your chance to push the body. Lots of options here. So you've got that plyo jump, the side to side tap. You've got a basic plank, and you can take that plank to the knees or down to the elbows to finish out this 20 seconds. You should be feeling that midsection working, those muscles between the pelvis and the rib cage. And we want to avoid tension through the neck and shoulders. Woo. Breathe it out, last 4, 3, 2, relax, belly to the mat, hands come to the armpits. We push back into our extended child's pose. Really let those armpits drop to the floor. This is your 30-second water break. New core exercises coming up in 15 seconds. When you're ready, you can join me face down, belly down on the mat. I'm gonna use my towel and tuck it in under my forehead for comfort. And we're taking this into our superheroes, our supermans. We're gonna lift and squeeze that low back, release to the floor. Lift, squeeze, and release. No resting, we touch the floor, but we don't rest. This is a 1-minute exercise. My advanced exercisers are gonna lift to the top and either hold or a controlled pulse. What does that mean, controlled pulse? It means squeeze and release. It's not fast. So you're in control of how big this movement is, this gentle back extension. We have about 10 seconds remaining. You're doing great, good work. New exercise coming up in 3, 2, 1. Roll to your side, relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Bend those knees. We're setting up for our hip clamshell. My hips are stacked one on top of the other. And I'm gonna open that top knee, never letting my hips rotate, or excuse me, my pelvis rotate. So I don't want my belly button pointed up towards the ceiling. I always want it pointed straight towards the wall in front of me. This is working those tiny little hip rotators. It just start out pretty easy and then pick up and give you a little bit of muscle burn right between the tailbone and the hip joint. If you're looking for added intensity, get as high as you can and then give it that little pulse. So we come down 1 inch and then squeeze. It's all about that squeeze at the top. 15 seconds here, new exercise coming up. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Rolling to your back. Bicycles here. So the feet come up off the floor, the abs tuck in, opposite shoulder to elbow. You get to decide how fast you move. Fast is not always better. We want good form and control. My beginning exercisers, if this is too much for you, relax and take this back to your heel tap. We've climbed this ladder. Rung 1, rung 2, rung 3. That means you can probably guess what's coming next. We're gonna go back down the ladder with our hip clamshells. 10 seconds. Keep moving. This is the peak of this round of core exercise, core strength. 3, 2, 1. Roll the body to the side. We've got our hip clamshells on the opposite side. Hips are stacked, knees are stacked, ankles are stacked, and then we open that top knee. Feel that squeeze through the glute. Try to relax the head, neck, and shoulders here. I'm trying to remember what our rung 1 was without looking at my papers. What was our first exercise? This is now not just a body muscle workout, but a brain workout. Do you remember? It was our superheroes. That's where we're heading next in 10 seconds. And release the clamshell, roll it forward. Superheroes here. We lift, squeeze, release. Lift, squeeze, release. My advanced exercisers, if you're looking for a tougher option, take it to a diagonal. Stay on that single diagonal and I'll let you know when we hit our halfway mark. This is our last minute of core work before we take it to our stretching for the day. Halfway, if you're doing that diagonal, switch it up. Make sure you're relaxing the head. Eyes are down, neck is released. This squeeze is going from the shoulder and that low part of the shoulder blade to the hip. Squeeze. We're on our last 10 seconds. 3, 2. Great finish. Go ahead and push those hands next to the armpits. Sit back into the extended child's pose. I like that space between the knees so the armpits and the chest can drop an extra inch. Find that inhale and that exhale. If you're feeling good with it today, it's an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Go ahead and push forward, roll to your back, however that feels best for you. Full body stretch, reaching the arms overhead and then pushing the toes away. You're welcome to stay here or join me for my new favorite stretch, the banana stretch. We're gonna walk both feet to the left corner of the mat, and then we take both hands to the top left corner of the mat so we get that nice long full body stretch from the ankle through the hip, under the armpit, all the way out through the fingertips. And we want to switch sides, so we come back to center. We walk the heels to the right side of the mat, and then the hands go to the top right corner, that little side bend. Again, the inhale, exhale. With your next exhale, go ahead and release, coming back to center. We start with that single knee hug. Just a few quick seconds here, and then we go to double knee hug. We're gonna do a glute stretch, a hip stretch in a seated position today. If you do not like that seated position, you can always come back to your supine, this position here, and take it into your hip cradle. We've done that one a lot, so you know the hip cradle. But if you're ready to join me, we're gonna rock the body up. If you're mirroring me, you're gonna hug the left knee so it crosses over the right side, hug in towards your body. You should feel that stretch through the left glute. Sit tall with this. If If you want that longer, steady hold, stay here. If you're looking for a little more variety, drop that left foot to the floor and we rotate through the spine to look over the left shoulder. Does that make sense? I'm trying to give you my mirroring directions. We're rotating. And we want to hit those same two on the other side. So hug the knee, sitting tall. Feeling like you're in the moment. It's okay to slow down. It's not just okay, it's great. Take that minute to clear the mind. Option to hang out here with the knee, hug that hip stretch, or drop the foot to the floor and take it into the rotation. All of these movements, all of these stretches should be a little bit of a pull or a little bit of a challenge, but never painful. And we pull back to center. We're gonna go ahead and take this to 90-90. So my front leg is at 90 degrees, my ankle to my hip, my back leg is at 90 degrees, pressing out away from the body. The goal is to feel this stretch through that posterior hip. So a little bit of a quad, a little bit of a hip flexor stretch. You can take that back ankle and pull it in. You can also rotate away from this stretch. If you're like, Michelle, no way, I hate this one. You have the option to go to your kneeling hip flexor. So 90-90 is what we're calling this one today. When you're ready, we slowly rotate out, switching sides. 90 degrees, that knee is pointing straight forward, the back leg comes back. Option here to take that back heel and tuck it in towards the glute. That'll intensify the quad stretch. Option to rotate away from the stretch. That's going to take that hip flexor and bring it all the way up into that abdominal area, that iliopsoas that attaches to the front side of your spine. As I mentioned at the beginning of class, not every exercise is perfect for you. I want you to find the movement that meets your body's needs. You know we move quick in this class, so if there's something that's not working for you, the next thing's coming up pretty much right away. Like now, we're gonna go ahead and take that release. Sit, however, it's best comfortable for you. If you have the towel, we're going to drop it down the back and grab it with both hands. So a tricep stretch here. Coming up to the camera just so you guys can see what I'm doing in a seated position. I'm grabbing the top part of the towel with my hand, my right hand, and then I take the left hand and grab that towel and kind of pull away from each other. If you don't have the towel at home, go ahead and take this to a traditional tricep stretch. When you're ready, same thing on the other side. So the lower arm goes to the top and the top arm goes to the bottom. And it's like you're trying to use that top arm to scratch the middle of your shoulder blades. And the towel, that pull from the lower arm, is just giving you the extra little inch of movement. With your next exhale, we release. The towel comes out in front. We're gonna do that band opener, that shoulder opener in a seated position. So you stretch it back and then bring that towel down to the knees. Overhead, open through the armpits, bring that towel down. You're working at your own pace. If you don't have the towel with you today, you can just do the arm movement, or you can also take it into a goalpost chest stretch, your choice. Working at your own pace, about 3 more repetitions here. We return to the towel right at chest level. We're gonna rotate through to the left side, back to center, to the right, center, side, center, switch. 1 more on each side. And as you finish up there, we drop the hands to the floor. They can either sit in front of you or at the sides. I want you to consider just dropping the eyes down, closing the eyes. Find that inhale through the nose, or if you need it through the mouth, count your counting up here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we exhale out the 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more counts of that. You're working at your own pace. Some people might count to 6 or 8. Others might only count to 3. Depends on how fast or slow. But I want you to feel that controlled breath with no pauses. And we release. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thursday, core and stretch, you've successfully completed. Have a great weekend. You will see Kendall on Monday. We have about 2 weeks left in this class schedule. Then we switch to the summer schedule the first week in June. We're still accepting suggestions and input for that. So if you have any ideas, send them our way. Have a great afternoon.